Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Sagittarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. These readings are totally free. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Sagittarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We start with the Princess of Swords. This is somebody who is very knowledgeable and very skilled, but is still a practitioner, is still curious, is still sort of hungry for more knowledge and more experience. Okay, this is the card of somebody who is always looking to learn more about life, about different subjects, always ready to absorb new information. I feel like you always have like a pen and paper in your hand. You're always ready to take notes about life and about things that interest you and things that you're learning. And I feel like you really do kind of live by that motto, that says we should learn one new thing every day, whether it's about the same subject or learning about a lot of different subjects. It doesn't really matter as long as we're learning, right? As long as we're growing, as long as we're trying to expand our awareness and enhance our consciousness and sort of develop ourselves, right? So I feel like you're a very curious person. I feel like you're a very good learner. I feel like you're a lifelong student. You're always ready to learn more about everything. Let's put this into a little bit of context. Yeah, context is everything. So here we have the Moon card. Okay, interesting. We have a pressure cooker. That is the Art or Temperance card, and that is your superpower card. So that's lovely. That's the card that is associated with the sign of Sagittarius. Back here we have a 5 of Cups. We have an 8 of Swords, and we have a Queen of Swords. So we have a little bit of confusion or doubt or uncertainty going on right here. But going forward, we're going to have the objective view. We're going to see things clearly, just not yet, right? Because right now I feel like there is this opportunity for you to sort of explore something new, and we're having some reluctance about it. Over here we have the Sun. There is the clarity, right? The sun will rise. When we have the Moon card, it's always like we're always waiting for the sun. Well, here it is. Because this is kind of saying like we're not going to know what this is all about until we enter into it and explore it and discover it. It's not something we can read in a book. Okay. We have the 8 of Wands. We have the Prince of Pentacles and a Prince of Cups. A lot of court cards here today. So I wonder if this is more about your relationships than about a particular skill. I wonder if you're maybe debating whether or not you want to learn more about a particular person or maybe a particular group of people. Or maybe you're considering, joining a club or joining a group or becoming part of a team, right? But there's some darkness there. There's some confusion. There's some uncertainty. Okay. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. We're going to set it down over here with our very own Kelly Kapoor right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need. Okay. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Okay. Now, as we look around the room, we do see just the 3 major arcana energies. We see the pressure cooker. We see your superpower card, your ability to sort of test yourself, to put yourself on the line, to go do the difficult thing. You're feeling the pressure inside, right? Because I feel like your soul is sort of urging you on to do this, but your mind is a little bit reluctant. I think that we've maybe we've been disappointed in the past, and so we're just like, well, I don't know if this is going to be the right right doorway for me. Okay, but we do see that your clarity will arrive. You know, your clarity will be there, and the radiance that we see on the other side of this doorway isn't necessarily saying that, oh, this is going to be the best decision of your life, but it is saying that you're going to get to the other, you're going to go through this doorway and you're going to see things for what they really are. You're going to have your confidence. You're going to shine your light. You're going to radiate your essence in this new situation, and we get to figure it out. Okay, so it's not really telling us, oh, this is going to be the best thing you've ever done. I do think there are some hidden blessings here. Okay, I think this is an opportunity for you to collaborate with new people, for you to get new ideas, for you to express yourself, practice some of the things that you've been learning. And I think that you're going to find some good relationships through this choice, through this doorway, through this maybe opportunity that's here. Okay, so we've got fire, we've got water, we've got air, and we've got, of course, a little bit of earth cards here. And the Earth card is very interesting because it is the Prince of Pentacles. It is the builder. Yeah, we're kind of starting right now with what our obstacle is. I think the obstacle here, the difficulty, the fear maybe, is that you're going to go through this doorway and you're going to enter into this new realm, and it's just going to be kind of dull and boring, right? That there's going to be nothing really there that interests you. It's kind of like, well, maybe I'll go to school or something, right? We're kind of worried that we're going to get there and it's just going to be work. And it's not going to be there's going to be no passion, there's going to be no interest. That it's sort of going to just be, that you're just going to become almost like anonymous, you know, where it's just like you're just going to be another ant carrying leaves back and forth on the forest floor, rather than, having some kind of purpose that singles you out in a way, right? So this is the builder. This is someone that shows up every day and does the hard work, and that's that. This doesn't always have a lot of passion. It's kind of like it's not practical to have that kind of passion. It's just, I'm here, I clock in, I do my work, I clock out, and I do the very best job that I can. But I think our worry is that this is going to be too routine, it's going to be boring, there's not going to be a spark. We want a spark, right? But the interesting thing is you got that spark right here. There's going to be fireworks. Not just a spark, there's going to be fireworks here, okay? And this may be a temporary thing. It's the Eight of, I know we're sort of skipping around everywhere, but it's my show, I can do that. The Eight of Wands here in your relationships, this might be just something that's kind of, a flash in the pan. It might not last forever. Maybe you don't want it to. Maybe this is just something that you're considering going and doing and being part of a particular activity or a group thing, and it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to form these kind of permanent relationships. This might be something that's just fun to do once in a while, or it's kind of like I just want to go and have the experience one time. It's like bungee jumping. I feel like you do it once, you're kind of like, you're done. And so there is this tremendous surge of energy and excitement and a real spark and real chemistry there. And it's up to you if you want to continue doing it, for the long term, or if it's just kind of, one and done kind of thing. Okay. But the sparks, and the excitement really is going to be there. And I think it may really surprise you how fun this thing is going to be, whatever it might. I don't know what it is. So anyway, we've got this doorway card. Let's do a divine doorway oracle card. Yeah. Anthony's call, and thanks of my spirit safe and sound, all things that are lost so can be found. So the idea of being lost, right? It sort of resonates with this moon card because this is the dark, scary forest into which we very often feel lost, right? When we make a big change, when we don't know, it's kind of a dark doorway. It's sort of, we can't see what's on the other side of it. It's just pitch black over there, right? You come to the edge of a dark wood, and what do? Well, I think that's kind of what you're trying to figure out. Do I go explore that dark wood and see what's in there? Or do I stay where it's safe and sound and not get lost? Well, maybe we're getting lost a little bit. Maybe we're going to go through this. Maybe we have to get lost a little bit in order to find ourselves. So on the other side of this doorway, there's uncertainty, there's mystery, There's maybe a little bit of fear. There is the great unknown, the vast unknown of life, okay? And I think that that this is, this is us getting lost, and maybe it's implying that you are, you're going to change your life in such a way where there's less certainty, there's less of what we know, right? Less of what is sort of comfortable. I think it's a reference over here to this 5 of Cups that we see behind you, because this is a card of disappointment, okay? And the disappointment might be a general sort of feeling like there's something that should be in my life, but it's not here. I don't know what's missing. Maybe a strong sense of self. Maybe it's a certain excitement or a certain love or a certain connection that you're missing. Very often we get sort of stuck in the 5 because we identify with it. It feels comfortable. It feels like home, right? These negative emotions. And it takes a real act of will. It takes a real courage to change something, because we get comfortable here. For whatever reason, we're used to these states, right? And maybe this is just a generalized sort of, negative emotion, maybe a melancholy, maybe this feeling of disappointment. And we get comfortable here. It feels familiar. And we tend to stay here. It feels safe almost in a way, right? But what we're doing is we're kind of saying, you know what, I need to make some changes in life. Maybe I want to go and explore some other areas of life, some other paths that might be out there, whether we're talking with friends or, with romance, maybe with career, maybe just with hobbies. Maybe it's saying, well, you know what, I'm going to go see what that group of people, I'm going to see what sport they're playing over there, and let me go introduce myself and see if they'll let me play with a hacky sack or something, because maybe we're not sure what's missing. This is the feeling that something's missing and I don't know what it is, right? If we look at it, we feel it more. So very often we try to ignore this card, right? Anytime we get a 5, it's basically saying, you got to look over here. Don't ignore this. Because this is the feeling that something should be in my life, but it's not here. And thus the feeling of disappointment. But if we don't know what it is, and we don't want to look at it, we just sort of brush it under the rug, and we end up kind of getting a 4 of Cups. But since this is a 5 and not a 4, I feel like you're not ignoring it. I feel like you're realizing, yeah, I got that feeling inside of me, and it's pushing me toward doing something, learning something new. Maybe we're going to say, well, you know what, I want to go back to school, or, you know what, I want to go join a different kind of club or group, or, I don't even know what it is. I do feel like it's going to involve other people, but I feel like you don't really know how it's going to be because, well, you've never done it before. The Art or Temperance card underneath the surface, I feel like you're experiencing a growing pressure coming from inside of you. Now, you may have been experiencing some stomach things. Spirit saying something about like stomach aches or acid reflux or something like that for you. Yeah. This is the blacksmith's shop, right? This is your ability to really put yourself on the blacksmith's anvil and do the difficult thing. You have this confidence about you that says, whatever this is, I've never done it before. I don't know these people, but I could go into that situation and I could sort of fit into it. I can rise to the challenge. Yeah. So you have a confidence about you. It's not about confidence. It's about, am I going to like it, or is this going to be a waste of time? Is it going to be boring? Is this going to solve my problem? Is this going to show me who I am? Right. So it's not about the courage really that we need, but there is this growing energy inside of you that's feeling like, we've got to go do something challenging now. I've got to go put myself out there, and I've got to strive and struggle for something, to become something kind of more, or to find out who I really am, or to sort of let my true self kind of come out, right? Now, maybe there has been an issue with confidence for you in the past. Maybe the 5 of Cups is sort of this feeling of regret that in my life there have been several opportunities that I should have taken, but I didn't. Okay? And now there's this growing sense that says, I got to take the opportunities. I don't know what the outcome will be. This is the card of uncertainty. I don't know what is really I'm not going to know until I go, right? We're not going to know until we enter the situation and we illuminate it and we receive the clarity and the illumination. That's why you have the little solar disk at the bottom. So we're not going to know what this is until we enter into it, okay? But I feel like this card is kind of urging you on, but it's being challenged a little bit by your mental resistance. I feel like there's a little bit of this kind of rumination, a little bit of doubt. It's kind of saying, well, what if this, what if that? What if it's boring? What if I don't like it? What if I don't find myself? What if this isn't right for me? What if things are worse than what I feel here? Okay. And I don't think it's necessarily possible that things will be worse going through the doorway, especially when we have the Queen of Swords in the future position, because this is a card that says, whether I like it or not, going through this doorway has taught me a little bit more about myself. I'm becoming a little bit more of my true self. I'm fulfilling my potential. Okay? Even if it's something that we say, well, it was fun to do one time, but now I don't want to do it ever again, like bungee jumping, or skydiving, or any of those other, altitude-based kind of adrenaline activities. But the Eight of Swords is us kind of going in a loop about it. This is kind of, we keep thinking about the same things. We keep saying, well, I want to do it, but I don't know. I want to do it, but I don't know. I want to do it, but there's excuses. There's reasons why I shouldn't do it. I want to do it, but there's no time. I want to do it, but there's no money. I want to do it, but, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too tall, I'm too short, whatever it is. There's always something, right? And I think that your true self here, kind of represented by the Temperance card, is saying, we've got to do it. We've got to push ourselves and challenge ourselves to do it right now, even if we don't stay there very long. But just to push ourselves in there and do it and give it a little bit of a trial run. Go for it once or twice. Maybe you're going to join a club or a group, like I said, or a new sport, or you're going to join a band, or you're going to go take lessons or something, or you're going to start a martial art, something of this nature, okay? But we tend to spend a lot of time thinking about something and sort of talking ourselves out of it rather than just going for it. Yeah, the time that we spend ruminating on something is time that we could have spent testing it out, seeing if we like it, going for it and saying, this ain't for me. Or saying, wow, this is the best thing I've ever done. I can't wait to go back. All right. But in the future position, with the Queen of Swords, this is clarity. This is a bird's eye view. It's kind of like, regardless of what your feelings are about this new path or this getting lost in the forest kind of thing, going and doing something challenging, doing something unknown and unfamiliar, regardless of your feelings toward it, you're going to come to know yourself better. You're going to know who you are a little bit more. You're going to come to find yourself a little bit more closely, okay? And this is the card of the bird's eye view. So you're at least getting kind of an objective assessment of yourself through this process. And I know that doesn't make sense. It's kind of an oxymoron, right? Everything is subjective. But this is us trying to step back and kind of looking at it and thinking, wow, I didn't like something about my life. I went and I did something really challenging. I went and I stepped into a dark, scary forest, and that feels good to do that, even though I don't want to do it anymore. But I did it. I pushed myself to do it, and that feels good. Even if you crash and burn, even if you just fail at it completely, who cares? At the very least, you are aware of yourself a little bit more. Okay? All things that are lost so can be found, right? So I feel like we're gaining a little bit of ground in this self-discovery type of realm. Yeah. Let's talk about the path of the serpent. And we start with the Sun card. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. These readings are totally free. The Sun card is a card of authenticity. It's a card of your light radiating out. It's a card of you really stepping up to the plate. I always see this card, I always think of like baseball. I don't know why. It just seems like a good day and a good place for some ball. the issue with this being your general energy is that sometimes we are afraid of our own authenticity, that we, because this is the self. This is what we're searching for. This is what we are trying to find, ourselves, right? And we're trying to be ourselves, be our authentic self in every event, every place I go. I want to be me. I want to express myself in my way. I want to let my light shine. We don't want to get into a situation where we feel like we've got to cover ourselves up. We've got to dim our shine, So this is you radiating your true self in every situation that you're in. And maybe it takes time for us to do that. Maybe when we first step into a new situation, we're kind of shy, we're kind of timid, we're sort of like, we're kind of hiding the light away a little bit, rather than just being out there and saying, yeah, here I am, let's do it, let's go, Because maybe it takes us a little bit of time to get comfortable in places, okay? But sometimes we are afraid of expressing our own authenticity because we're afraid of judgment. We're afraid of like what people think of us and this sort of stuff. But see, the sun here is just radiating its light. It doesn't care what people think. It's radiating the sun, right? All this light, all this heat, because that's what it does. Because if it didn't, it would collapse, right? It would be crushed by its own weight. So to be like the star, we need the equilibrium. We have to have this pressure growing within us. This is the nuclear furnace inside of the star. Okay? And so this is the pressure coming from inside. We need a little bit of pressure from outside, otherwise we're going to go supernova, right? So this sun card is really saying that, look, it's going to be healthy for you to go find some way to challenge yourself. Find some medium through which to express your radiance. Otherwise, we're going to go supernova. Now, if you don't have enough heat and a nuclear fusion inside of you, the weight of the world is going to squish you down into a little dwarf star or whatever it is, right? It could squish you into a black hole even. We don't want to do that. So I feel like this is really a confirmation that you've got what it takes to do anything that you want in life. And I like the connection between the moon card. The sun will rise. Here's the sunrise. This may feel like kind of a scary prospect. Once you get there, you're going to see it for what it is. All the monsters that you are afraid of in the dark are going to turn out to be just little puppy dogs and unicorns in the daylight, okay? And you've got to be the daylight that enters this situation. Now, you've got some cactus thing. You've got some like succulents and like a little white ceramic thing. You're the one that has all the little ceramic plant like pots with the succulents in them, yeah. I feel like they're kind of lining a windowsill or something like that, yeah. The sun is kind of it's a card of clarity too. You have a lot of these cards of clarity. So I feel that the cards of confusion and doubt are being replaced by the cards of clarity and certainty and sort of this objective thing, but also of the confidence and the radiance. Okay, I think that whatever you're kind of fearful of here, you're going to be really good at it. And I think here with the Eight of Wands in the position of your relationships, you're going to meet a lot of people real quick. And I feel like you're introducing yourself to a lot of people. You may forget their names right away. That's okay. They probably forget yours too. I think that you're going to fit into this situation a lot easier than you think. I think you're going to be heard, you're going to be seen, you're going to be understood. Okay. And I think that it's going to be very exciting. It might be that we're just so wrapped up in the initial rush of this that we're not going to remember anybody's name. That we're not going to have time to be self-conscious. I don't know if I liked it or not because I was just so wrapped up in the fireworks of it, right? So it may be that we have to go back again and again and again to really feel it out. Yeah, to really feel it out. Spirit's telling you to check the batteries in your smoke detector. You got the beep thing, right? I hate that, so annoying. It seems like every couple of weeks one of those things is chirping at me. I think you got someone, anyway, check the batteries. But this is, this is that kind of, this is that firework. Yeah. And so I think that there's going to be sparks, big time chemistry between you. Maybe it's one other person, maybe it's a group of people. It feels to me like it's a team, or it's some kind of a club, or it's some kind of a group setting anyway. You're going someplace where there are other people, at the very least. And I feel like it's going to be very exciting. I feel like it's going to feel like it ends too quickly. And I think you're going to be eager to go back again and do it again. Yeah. Now, the Prince of Pentacles we sort of talked about, and that's, that's our fear. Our fear is that this is going to just be work, and it's not going to be fun, and there's going to be no joy there, and there's going to be no, there's really going to be no excitement, no fulfillment, no satisfaction. There's going to be no opportunity for us to do anything. It's kind of like when you become part of a team, it almost feels like I'm just going to be a number. I'm not going to actually be anything unique. I'm just going to have to blend into everything and just be another sort of cog in the machine, right? I think that's our fear, because I think that you're somebody that really wants to find yourself, not lose yourself again. We don't go into this dark, scary forest to then just sort of lose ourselves further. So you're not looking for just a kind of a robotic routine, or just some kind of a thing where you can just be just like everybody else. It's like a band, a musical group that they all wear the same outfit. You can't tell the band members apart, or everybody wears the mask. It's like nobody gets any kind of uniqueness, but we're all playing a different instrument. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it reminds me of Cheech and Chong a little bit. We're all kind of like, we're all the same, but like different, But I think that's kind of our worry here, is that we're going to be just sort of lost in the hustle of everything. But I see that's being kind of counteracted by the Prince of Cups here. So the Prince of Cups now is the one who is living their authentic life, striving for authenticity, expressing themselves in a very pure and honest way, putting themselves out there. I think that this is really, we start with the Five of Cups back here, and we end with more water energy here. I feel like this is you really kind of feeling as if you found something that really belongs to you. Through this situation, I think you're coming to know yourself more, and I think this is an activity, or this is a club or a group that you really like. This is the card of us authoring our own story, right? Authenticity, authorship. Writing our own story rather than kind of, feeling as if we have to accept the story that's already been written. It's kind of like, I can rewrite something else. I can do whatever I want. And I'm not going to let fear or uncertainty get in my way. If I want it, I'm going to go explore it. I'm going to figure it out, see if it's for me, see if I like it, see how to get it done, see how I can get that thing in my life or something close to it. So this is also about you. It's like a bubble in the ocean. Trying not to be just, dispersed into 1,000 little microscopic pieces of air. Trying to stay a whole bubble and make it to the surface, make it to the sunlight, right? Because I feel that we are, there's a uniqueness, there's an individuality in you that you don't want to lose, okay? And so this card is saying that, you're going to be steadfastly unique and yourself and sort of independent, even when you're part of this other group and part of this team. Everybody has their own unique skills and their own personality, right? So I feel that this is really a very positive outcome, because it does suggest that you are finding yourself a little bit more, and you're comfortable with yourself. Even if we're all wearing the same uniform, you still have this strong sense of self and this authenticity, whether you like this thing or not. I think that this is also you deciding whether you like it. Whether you like it or not, I think it's good for you to practice writing your own story, saying, you know what, I'm curious about this thing. I want to go explore this despite how nervous I am about it. I'm going to go find out if I like it. And so that's us writing our story. And like any good writer, you're going to write stuff. You're going to have to delete a few lines once in a while, maybe. Not everything we write is literary gold, right? We're going to say, well, maybe that one I can save for a rainy day. Maybe I don't want that one today. But But we have to write. We have to continue to do things and explore life. And you have that curiosity. So this is what you're doing. In order to know what kind of story we want to write, what story feels most authentic to you, well, we've got to get out there. We've got to write. We've got to live life. We've got to take chances. We've got to go through these doorways. And we've got to, if you want to become a good writer and be an authentic writer, you got to write. You got to write a lot of bad stuff probably too. And then you'll find your voice. You'll find the good stuff in there. I feel like that's what this card is referring to. Let's look at the mystery card. What do we think this is going to be? Well, I think water energy. I think a 6 of cups, 6 of pentacles, 6 of swords, 6 of discs. It's going to be a 6. I feel that group energy. I feel like this is really like things are aligning, things are coming together. I feel like we're really going to fit in to this place, So I'm kind of feeling a 6. If you have a prediction, of course, put it in the comments down below. Let's see what we have. Well, we see the 8, another 8, right? Another 8. I think that this is really reiterating that we're not going to judge the fireworks show by the first firework that goes off. We're going to say, you know what? I'm going to stick around a little bit. When you listen to a CD, do they still have CDs? You listen to an 8-track, right? And you hear the first song. I'm not going to judge the band yet. Let me listen to a few more tracks, right? Or whatever they have now on the, MP3s and stuff. So I feel like because we have a duplicate card, 8 of Wands, that we have to go and do it again. The first time we do it, wow, exciting. It went by way too fast. I didn't have time to even figure out what was going on or whether I liked it or not. I can't wait to go back. It's like when I take my daughter places, right? We took her bowling for the first time. It was a few weeks ago, maybe a few months ago now. I don't even know. But we took her bowling, and it was her first time. She didn't really know what to do, and she had fun, but it was just like, it was a lot of, I don't know what to do and how to get this ball down the lane. And now we're going to go bowling again this afternoon, and she's so excited because now she now she gets it a little bit, Now it's like, oh, okay, I see what the game is, so now let's go. Now I'm ready, right? And so that's kind of like the first time we do it, we might be just nervous, and it might go by so fast. We didn't really have time to register a lot. We didn't remember anybody's name, and it's like, I don't know how I feel about that yet. Let's go back and do it again. Okay, so I feel like this is something that you're going to continue to do until you really get a sense of what it is and how it's going to fit into your life, if it is at all. Okay, and so that, I think, is the beauty of like authoring your own story, is that I can go try something as many times as I want to see if I like it, whether it's an activity, a sport, a new skill, something we're learning, new books, going places, becoming part of a group, associating with somebody, going on dates, like whatever it might be. Maybe it is like a new job, and maybe it's like, well, I don't know how I like it yet. I got to go back. The first day, very exciting, but just learning stuff. Like, of course, the first day is going to be all excitement and nerves, right? Then the second and the third day, we're going to see how it plays out. Yeah. So I think that's a very good mystery card. Now, we're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, we're going to do an I Ching hexagram. We're going to do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Sagittarius, Wednesdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. Readings are totally free. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.